Hello and welcome to Badminton Weekly. In this week's episode, we're going to look back at the exciting start to the HSBC BWF World Tour, where the young stars are taking center stage in the Asian leg. Alwi Farhan captured his first ever Super 500 title at the Daihatsu Indonesia Masters, while Muhammad Zaki Ubaidillah and Devika Sihag secured their maiden Super 300 crown in Thailand. 5 other youngsters also made their presence known in the World Tour, and Steen Pedersen believes badminton has a bright future.
It's really great to see all the youngsters making a name for themselves. I think it's so good for badminton, for the depth in badminton and the diversity that we see youngsters making their way forward. So it was 4 really good tournaments in terms of that. There were a lot of performances that caught my eye. The most surprising win to me was Devika Sihag in Thailand Masters, because she literally only played her 4th World Tour tournament and really hadn't been anywhere near a final previously. So that was very surprising. I wouldn't have been able to pick her out from the draw beforehand. The most impressed I think I was with Victor Lai, the way that he's been able to follow up on his bronze medal from the World Championship. We have to remember that he was so close to getting to the final of the World Championship, and then being able to follow it up in India Open in quite different playing conditions. So he's shown that he can play in slower playing conditions, he can play in fast playing conditions that we had in India for at least the first 3 days. That was very difficult. For Joaquin and Indra, I think it's impressive. They're coming forward as a new men's doubles in the crazy badminton nation of Indonesia, and winning their first title in Australia Open, beating the new sort of exceptional men's doubles with Fikri and Alfian, but being able to follow up on that performance and reach 2 consecutive finals with a playing style that is very spectacular. I think that's super impressive. There's still some way to go, no doubt about it. This is all players that haven't really played a lot of top 20 opposition so far. So they've taken the first step, and they won a World Tour event. For most of them, they won a World Tour event, and that means that your career is successful. It is a fact, though, that development is not a linear progression that comes in plateaus and steep inclines, and then a small plateau again. And the closer you get to the top, the harder it becomes. Then you have to develop your playing style further to cope with that. So there's still some way to go for basically all of these youngsters that have done well, but it's so encouraging that they're there and they've gotten belief, and I'm looking really forward to see them in the future. It also means it helps their ranking. It becomes easier to get into the Super 750s, the Super 1000s. They're going to have to play top 20 players more regularly, and that's all going to be a developing case from now on and the next years to come.
So, with the young players exceeding expectations at the start of this season, the veterans in the women's singles game are not about to call it a day just yet. Ratchanok Intanon, Nozomi Okuhara, and PV Sindhu have impressed in the first 3 tournaments of the year. They are also inspiring each other to stay motivated on the court.
I think definitely yes. I mean, when you see your partners or the players, the female athletes playing since the time back then, I think me and Ratchanok and also Okuhara, I think we have been playing since under 16, if I'm not wrong, under 16, under 19. I still remember. So definitely yes, it does motivate that, okay, they are playing, yes, I can also play. And I'm sure it's the same for them as well. I know sometimes you might have bad days, but it's very important to bounce back stronger, like athletes like us. I mean, Ratchanok or Okuhara, we were injured, we really went down in the world ranking, and again we came up. So I think the willpower, the motivation and I think the belief within yourself is very important. Results doesn't come so easily, and you need to have that patience, and you need to keep working hard. But it's so nice to see that a decade ago we were playing and still now we are actually playing. And I was just telling to my friend, 2016 was almost like, it's almost 10 years now. It's I can't believe it, but it's so good that to see other players also, your co-partners, players playing with you and also doing really well in the higher tournaments.
Chen Yufei has also competed against Sindhu, Okuhara, and Ratchanok for more than 10 years. The Chinese shuttler, who recently defeated all three in the latter stages of the Malaysia Open and Indonesia Masters this year, was happy to face them again like the good old days.
对，我觉得非常惊喜吧。然后在这次比赛中，我们都能，因为我确实也很久没打了，因为现在年轻的队员越来越强，然后老队员可能各方面都会有所下降吧。然后但是在这次比赛中，我觉得我们每一个就是新度，然后包括今天的奥援都是拼尽全力还是在这个职业道路上去拼搏吧。我觉得很开心，然后还能在今年遇到他们。
Liu Shenshu and Tan Ning added 2 more titles to their collection with wins at the Petronas Malaysia Open and Yonex Sunrise India Open. The world number 1 put their bitter loss to Baek Hana and Lee So-hee at the 2025 World Tour Finals behind them by defeating the same opponents en route to back-to-back titles in 2026. Selena Peak explains why the Chinese pair is tougher to beat this year.
Yes, they had a really good start of the year and I was quite impressed by the gameplay. And I think there's not one specific thing in their game that added to the dominant win in either KL and in India. But I think what really helped in their mindset, they lost the finals of the World Tour Finals. I think they got that eagerness a little bit back by losing at their home ground to the Koreans. And I could see that at the start of the season. They looked a little bit more fresh, a little bit more eager. Those small, easy mistakes, I didn't saw that anymore in their game. So I think it's a bit of a combination about a new year, fresh energy, mental clearness, and maybe also it helped that they were not playing at their home ground. Sometimes we also forgetting, because they have been winning so much already in the past, that they're so young. So that mental pressure, what got to them, I think, in 2025, also with the end of a long season, I think they looked way more fresher, way more ready amongst the start of this year. And I think that is the main key that helped them dominating the first 2 tournaments. And for me, when I looked at the match, it was clear that they were willing to work extremely hard. They made no unforced errors, no easy mistakes. Plus, from a technical point of view, if you really looked into the match, you could really see they had to work hard, they had to dig deep, they had to be creative in their shots, they had to wait for the right opportunity to capitalize. And I think that stood out. You could see in the end the Koreans got a little bit more rushed in wanting to catching up, and that resulted in some kind of unforced errors. So I think that was the main key why the win looked, and I say looked, more dominating, because again, it was hard work. I think what's making Liu and Tan so successful is they have multiple rally modus game style of play. So normally when you're playing the Japanese, you know, okay, they're more defending kind of play. When you play the Koreans, they are really more the flat game style exchanges. And I think Liu and Tan can adapt to every kind of style. And combining that with their really strong attacking play, obviously, is making them a very tricky and scary pair to play against. And because they are so good in switching roles on the court as well, their rotation play got a lot better. I could see Tan working from the back a lot more, and I could see Liu intercepting from the net a lot more. And I think that's making them so extremely dangerous. I could see Tan working hard, flying into their shots, waiting, taking the speed out, and I saw also Liu doing that. And normally she was the hard hitter. They're able to change all the time between G3 ready and different kind of opponents. They have no weak game style anymore. They can adapt to every circumstances, and I think that's helping them as well to play in windy arenas as well. You don't see that they're playing in windy arenas. You don't see they're playing from a clearly worse side. No, they're adapting to the game style. They're adapting to the quality of shots. If they are seeing, okay, we need to lift, we need to give away the defense, they're okay doing that. What I really like when watching them, they're not just defending just to defend. No, they're really trying to see the opportunity and they're trying to redirect the defense into the open corner. They're trying to get their opponents into difficult positions. And when they're doing that, and when they're successful in doing that, they capitalize on the next one. And that's something that makes them really tough to beat this season.
Over the 4 weeks of competition, the Asian leg of the HSBC BWF World Tour has featured some incredible performances and unexpected results. These events also produce numerous high-quality shots and thrilling rallies. Here's our pick of the top 5 best plays in the Asian leg.
Still alive somehow.
Two different exchanges in the same rally. Kazuma's on the floor.
Well, what a ridiculous rally that was.
Terrific effort here. Both of them down at that point.
Good defending there from the Indonesians. Oh, great, drives it out! And that sets up 6 match points. What an end to that rally. A series of drives.
20, match point, 14.
Oh, behind the back. Shot.
That's amazing. What? The behind the back shot from Lakshya Sen was extraordinary. There it is.
17-18.
Oh, what a shot there from Look At You. Even if he goes on to lose this game, that's just worth watching again. A little pirouette, brilliant shot. That's the shot of the day. Might even be the shot of the whole week.
Would you believe it? A behind the back defensive shot played to perfection from Vidasan. Look at this. That is extraordinary. A moment of magic.
So with the Asian leg done, it's now over to Europe for the next part of the HSBC BWF World Tour. Join us on February 23rd as we look ahead to the European adventure, starting with the Yonex German Open. In the meantime, stay up to date with the latest news by downloading our BWF app, Badminton for You. As always, let us know your thoughts, comments, and questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Have a great week, everyone!